Okay guys, I wanted to talk about woofers today. So for those of you who've never heard of that except maybe as a piece of audio equipment, this is what it is. It's the worldwide organization for... Shut the door, please. Shut the door, please. Okay, woofer. It is a worker that goes from farm to farm, not corporate farms, not big 2,000 acre farms, small homesteads. They go from homestead to homestead and market garden to market garden, and they learn the craft of farming. They learn the craft of organic. They learn the craft of sustainable. And after they've had all of this experience, then they know how to make it work, and they know how to amend the soil, and they know how to butcher the animals. And so then a lot of times they'll go and they'll rent a piece of land and get experience that way. And then after they've done all these things, they go out and they buy their own property and they start to farm. So it's like an apprenticeship. It's like a farmer apprenticeship. And what does the farmer get out of this? The farmer gets free labor. The only thing that he provides to the woofers is he provides shelter and food. And the woofers eat at his table, and he provides them with firewood, etc., etc. So it's this amazing program, and my youngest brother is part of it right now, and he says it is as good as advertised. He is learning so much. He loves it. They eat, everything that they eat comes from the little homestead. And he now has enough background and experience to know what to look for in another farm if he wanted to do the woofer thing again. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is because I'm thinking about doing another Kickstarter. Or I've set up a Patreon account and I don't know how to use it, so don't go to it, please, because I don't know how to use it. Patreon accounts are supposed to be, you get paid per thing that you create. But, yeah, I don't really understand how it works yet. I have set it up, but I don't understand how it works. So I'm trying to find some way to brainstorm in my mind getting a little cabin put up on our property. Because there are woofers in our neck of the wood. That is amazing to me, because usually woofers you think of like a hippie, and Idaho is not thought of as like necessarily a hippie state. We're very, very conservative, very Republican, and very straight-laced. And so people wandering around, bohemian people wandering around to little homesteads, doesn't seem to really fit into like the idea of Idaho. But there's a lot of them out here. My little brother's in Oregon right now, but there's one just over in Swan Valley and that's pretty close to us. And so I want to build a little teeny tiny cabin with a sleeping loft, and it would be off-grid. It would have a little outhouse dug next to it and a little wood stove in it, and it would enable these woofers to have some privacy. It would allow us to have our privacy. It would give them somewhere to entertain friends when they weren't working. It would give them somewhere to personalize and make their own and make it a little home. And because it would be off-grid, I wouldn't have to worry about water pipes being abused, or I might worry about fires getting started, but I don't know how much I would worry about that, because I think we would have a longer draft through the roof of the little cabin than we do in our kitchen. Our draft, our pole is very, very short in our kitchen, and that's one of the reasons we have problems with chimney fires, is because our chimney itself needs to be a little bit longer. So I'm trying to think, Kickstarter, just save a whole bunch of money. The thing is, I want our homestead to be completely lush, full of trees. I want it to be deep mulch everywhere. I don't want to have to water anymore, and I know that it's a possibility because I have trees on my property that never get watered. Never get watered. And they're fine, and they're fruit trees and fruit bushes, and they produce huge amounts of fruit without additional water from me. But what I do have a limited amount of is energy and strength for myself. The first 2 years that we were here, I burned myself out with adrenal exhaustion, and since then it's all I can do to go out and do chores with the goats in the morning and not just be really tired. And so my ability to go out and apply deep mulch and to do double dug garden beds and that kind of thing is limited. Do I know how to do it? Have I done it before? Yes. Could I instruct someone and teach someone else how to do it? Yes, but I don't have the grunt work to do it anymore. So I'm so excited. Maybe I could do this woofer program thing, but I wouldn't want them to have to come and live in a tent. I want them to be comfortable, and I want to figure out how to do this. I'm assuming it would cost about $2,000 to build it myself, and I have a friend who said that he would be willing to give me a quote. Otherwise, the cost of the bully barn, we were thinking 12 by 24, because that way, if we decided as old folk that we didn't want to live in our big house anymore and we wanted to rent it to somebody or give it to our kids to have their families in, we could have a little senior home in the back. And 12 by 24 seems like a really good size. So that's the size that we want to do it at. And if we went with the bully barn, it would cost $5,000 unfinished. So it would just be a shell. It would be, everything structurally would be finished, but it wouldn't be insulated. That would be left. That would be extra cost. But we could handle that. And if we could just get the shell out there, then I think we could get a good head start. And somebody would be really comfortable in that, even uninsulated in the summer, with lots of windows. And really big windows on southern exposure, so that in the winter it also helped with passive solar. Wouldn't that be exciting? So that's our current dream. We really want to be able to get woofers out here. And for those of you who have never heard of it, that have farms, look into the woofer program, because it's free labor. You do have to do a little bit of selective, work to make sure you don't have weirdos coming onto your property. But also Paul Wheaton does the woofer program and really has benefited from that. So I think that would make it so that we could really turn it into a farm, having the extra labor and having that grunt work. Oh my goodness, wouldn't it be nice just to have somebody here that could help me with those kind of things? So look into it. I'll leave a link for it, and we'll talk to you later.